In this episode, which bank account is right for you? There's loads of bank accounts out there. In this episode, I'm going to be breaking down a few examples. I'm going to show you NatWest, which is a bank, because I like the way they break it down. I used to work for NatWest back in the day, so I understand this a little bit easier on their site. Not sponsored by NatWest. We will cover it in the terms of if you're totally new to banking, you don't have any credit history, if you've had trouble with credit history and you're getting a bank account, because these days a bank account is essential for most things, getting paid, making payments. Everybody wants cards, payment cards, electronic cards. So we'll speak about those. I'm going to cover those in today's episode. Let's just have a quick look at who I am and what I do so we can understand how I can help you in this episode.
Working for yourself, I know you love it. Working for yourself, cause I love it too. Working for yourself, Zulf talks about it, making it easy for you. Working for yourself, go be your own boss. Working for yourself, Zulf will help you along. Working for yourself, powered by trusted creators, ZulfTalks.com.
As you can see online here, you can see my background and what I do. I've been having a podcast for a number of years, over 200 episodes, and I speak to a number of guests about basically finances and working in the right way to help you if you're setting up a small company, if you're self-employed, because everybody these days to some extent is doing a little bit of working for themselves, earning money, even if it's a side hustle or something. So in today's episode, we're talking about bank accounts. Specifically, I'm going to give you an example. If you're new to banking, if you're a teenager and it's the first time, it's so confusing. Let me cover it. So here what I've done is I've gone to NatWest.com. This is a banking provider in the UK. Like I mentioned, I used to work for them in the past, so it's probably a good way to explain it. I used to speak to a number of customers and explain bank accounts, so I'm hoping this helps you if you're not sure what's going on. And because think about it, I've gone to products, bank accounts, mortgages, savings, loans, child and teen, investments, credit cards, and what's going on. So let's go to bank accounts, and in the bank account list you'll see all our bank accounts: everyday bank account, reward bank account, student bank account, child and teen bank account, premier bank accounts. Why do you have so many? Don't worry, today I'm going to explain them all. Right now you've got a few options here. So a select account, which is a basic everyday bank account. This applies to most banks. You're going to have banks which offer you simple accounts. What that means is like an account which has no borrowing facilities. So you can't have an overdraft. If you don't have money in the account, you can't spend it. That's like a totally basic account. Second type account is going to be a normal account, which has an option for an overdraft where you can borrow money, which is not yours. You're basically borrowing from the bank and then you pay it back. They charge you interest for it. We'll cover that in more detail as we go along. But a basic account with an overdraft, you can choose to have a basic account and say, can I have a zero overdraft? That's an option. Then you've got reward accounts. Reward accounts are basically bank accounts where they expect you to pay a monthly fee and they give you some perks. So it's like a subscription type situation. Think about Netflix. You pay for it, you're able to watch films. In this example, you pay for it, they give you like maybe mobile phone insurance, or you can get special access to sites like for, I don't know, downloading music, different types of things they give for teen accounts, for example. Then you've got additional accounts, which are like more privileged accounts. If you're a high earner, you might get a better rate. There's loads of options out there. So linking that back to our example here, in this NatWest example, you'll see an everyday bank account. You've got a select account. So this is a simple account. You'll get your app. You can access it online, day-to-day billing, making payments, all that stuff's normal. And then you can go and continue to a select account. Now, it depends how old you are. If you're younger, you might want a different account. So hang about, I'll explain that one. This one here is a reward account. So a reward account is the one I talked about where you pay some money. What did they give you? So earn £4 a month in rewards for 2 or more direct debits. Earn £1 a month in rewards just by logging into your mobile app. Earn 1%. So yeah, it's not as good as it used to be. Back in the day when we used to work the sales departments, we used to be able to give you like mobile phone insurance, holiday insurance, those kind of things. So it doesn't look like they have that anymore. Earn rewards as cash back into your account or e-gift codes with our retail partners. So you get like a special offer. If you spend a lot of money in a certain shop, it might be good. It might be an option. I have a credit card where I get Tesco points. So I spend anyway. I'll explain a bit later on about credit cards. That might be a separate episode to explain what a credit card is. Because as you get into this arena, you'll discover there's loads of different options out there for bank accounts. Bank account in essence is you save money, you put that money into a bank account. So once you've saved money, you're going to say, okay, I've got this money, I'm going to give it to the bank. The bank puts that money into their vault, and someone else might come along and say, oh, I don't have any money, can I borrow money? They'll borrow your money that you put in your vault to that customer. That customer will go and do whatever it needs to do. They'll pay a little bit more back, which they call interest, and then you earn interest on your balances in your account if you have an account that pays interest. There's basically money's always moving around. It's like never just sitting there. So that's an example of like a basic how it works. And bank accounts are quite important for that, because you want to make sure you've got money to easily spend, and that works nicely. I mentioned a little while ago about if you're a younger person, especially if you're a teenager or you're younger and you want to get into finances, you need a bank account. Why? If you're young, why do you need a bank account? So if you're going to start earning money, people are paying you wages into your account. If you're doing some part-time work, it's going to be good to have a bank account, because you're going to get used to how banking works. A banking card you can sometimes get if you're the right age, and you can use that to pay for things in the shop. People can pay you into your bank account directly, so no longer having cash, it goes into your account as a digital amount, and then you can spend that via a card in shops by tapping everywhere. There's different accounts available out there to help you with banking. And NatWest offers a student bank account if you're studying, and they offer a child and teen account. What does that mean? If you're between 11 and 17, you can actually have a bank account, and they let you pay by Google Pay or Apple Pay if you set it up on your things, like it's managed by your parents basically. But it gets you into that world of managing your finances. So that's an overview of like a teen account, which you can consider. If you're totally new to the country and you've come like during this recent developments, Ukraine refugee situation, and you don't have any credit history in the UK, you'll be surprised to know that NatWest actually offer a Ukraine refugee account. So it's like a basic account. However, if you've had an account in the past and you've struggled with money and you've come into a situation where you can't borrow any money anymore, so things like a bank will do a credit search on you. We'll have another dedicated episode explaining what a credit search is, but it's basically your history of how good you are borrowing and paying back money. If you've had problems in the past and you've struggled with that, then there will be different types of bank accounts, because you still need an account realistically, because this day and age, everybody wants a bank account to put money in and take money out, get paid, etc. They do a foundation account, which basically offers you a simple account without a credit search, and you can do your day-to-day banking activities, which is basically, I think everybody needs a basic account. You don't really want to get into borrowing money early on. My motto is, if you can save money towards what you want to buy and you've got the money, that's when you're entitled to buy it. But that's my way of thinking about it. It may not be correct. Some people like to borrow and buy something which then they have to keep paying the bank back until the item becomes theirs. There's different ways of thinking about it. Are you willing to wait to buy what you want and save for it? Or are you willing to just get what you want at the time you want it and then pay that back for a number of years until you're not in debt anymore? Debt is basically you owe somebody money for something you bought which you haven't paid them back yet. So I'm explaining this in the simplest way that I can think of. And this is the foundation account, which is the basic account version. And in addition to these types of accounts, you've got premier accounts, which have the extra options. So you'll see here, reward silver, you get European travel insurance, mobile phone insurance. Okay, they've reworded it. They call it a different name now. So reward silver, reward platinum. This used to be called advantage gold, and I forgot what the lower one used to be called. But this is going back a few years. They do business accounts as well. I found if you're applying for a business account through NatWest or any of the big banks, it's a little bit longer than it needs to be, the process. I used Starling for a business account, which is an online bank. I used the post office to put cash into that account. They charge me £3 every time I put money into that account because it's like a service that post office offer that bank. But I was able to open up an account within like 48 hours. Whereas going through a NatWest or a Barclays or a Santander, it can take up to like a week, 2 weeks longer. So there's a few benefits of these setting them up, but this is an overview of banking and banking accounts. I haven't gone into as